This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and he just said to our guest that he's insane for a variety of reasons, so I had to add that. We're going to take a look at some health issues that I think touch many people. During the second part of our show, we're going to talk about a product that's really kind of neat. It's called Folk Revival, and it's actually a cereal that's made from acorns. I didn't even know people could eat acorns. I've tried the product. I just brought some samples so Daryl and his family can try it too. And we cooked with David Cantor a few weeks ago on Late Night Health on Mark Allen Cooks, and it was really well received. Right now we're going to talk about height. Did you know that, statistically speaking, presidents who are taller generally win? That women prefer tall men, and that men prefer tall women, with an exception. Me. I like short people. Short people tend to live longer. I don't know if that's 100% true, but we'll find out as we talk with Dr. Michael Malobsky. He has been a practicing pediatric primary care, pediatric emergency, and pediatric hospital medicine in Denver, Colorado for over 20 years. Dr. Michael, welcome to Late Night Health.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Is it true short people tend to live longer than tall people?
It's kind of out of my wheelhouse medically to comment on that, but I have also heard the same thing.
I've heard about dogs. You know, much larger dogs are not built for the long term.
Well, I mean,
I listen. In full disclosure, I am 6'7", so it is of primary interest. This is a topic that, you know, if I can do something to improve my statistical longevity, for sure, I want to work on that. So.
You lose like a foot.
Yeah, no, I got to trim. I got to cut down the height. It's not just
exactly. You were probably close to a foot taller than I am. I'm 5'7", 5'8".
You're as tall as some of my kids. It's adorable.
Yeah, and they're only 10 years old, right?
A little older.
A little older than that. What? In talking with people, we're all concerned about our kids. When I was a kid, I mean, way back when, there were growth hormones. They were expensive. Celebrities used them, and there were side effects from them, or potential side effects. You have created a supplement, I believe.
Well, I haven't created it. I just am a big fan of it, and I use it in my practice.
Oh, okay.
And so
you're a spokesperson for it. You're a spokesperson.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. Tell us about True Height.
So, as a pediatrician, I've been a pediatrician for 25 years. I have 7 children of my own. And
oh my God,
and concerns about growth are a very, very significant part of what people want to talk about when they come in for their checkups from the time their kids are very young. And so it is important to understand, you know, what really are the factors and elements around, hey, you know, what are all the things that determine how tall your child's going to be? And the truth of the matter is the vast majority of it we have no control over. Really, what determines most of the height of your child is the genetics of how tall your parents are. In fact, your listeners can go to Google and they can Google a little equation called the mid-parental height calculator. And with fair accuracy, within a couple of inches either way, you put in some information about the height of the mother, the height of the father, and the gender of the child, and it pretty well predicts with fair accuracy how tall your child's going to be. So that being said, there is a not insignificant component to any child's growth potential has to do with environmental factors. So I've heard studies say, is it 20% contributing to the overall picture, 10%. I think that's really hard to quantify, but there for sure is an element here that has to do with your child's nutrition, sleep, stress, stress environment, all of those things being healthy and optimized to allow a child to meet or reach their genetic potential for growth. And there are, in my
Let
practice,
me interrupt you a second,
yeah,
and that is, there's something called metagenetics. You, as
Sure.
a doc, you've heard about this.
Somebody
Epigenetics, I'm sorry.
Epigenetic factors.
Epigenetics.
Environmental factors that change how your DNA is expressed.
And so that somebody who has a family history of heart attack, diabetes, I can understand how epigenetics can change that. Okay?
Yes.
What I don't understand is how we can change genetics to make somebody who statistically will be 5'4", right, 6 feet.
So you cannot. So you're absolutely right. You cannot change anyone's genetics. I see my job when children come to me is to make sure that all the factors that are controllable or are variables in a child's life that impact the expression of their genetics, which are their healthy nutrition, healthy sleep, healthy routines and habits, healthy social environment, to whatever extent we can manage that, do impact how one's growth potential is expressed.
Does it really matter how tall somebody is?
It's easy for me to say because I'm very tall, obviously. However, as you pointed out, we live in a society where height has some import amongst the way people view one another socially, professionally. So in an ideal world, no, it shouldn't matter how tall you are, but there's no question that it is something that people are focused on and worried about. And if there are ways to optimize what they can do to support their child's growth, a lot of people want to know what those things are.
Do you recommend, other than true height, do you recommend human growth hormone?
No, I do not. So, there are children, and there are clinical and medical ways to at least evaluate this, that do not or cannot produce enough of the normal growth hormone to meet their growth potential. Those children have a very specific set of diagnostic features and need to be seen by an endocrinologist and undergo a rigorous evaluation. And that is a completely separate topic. There is no use for growth hormone just because people who happen to be on the smaller side and have a child who's on the smaller side would like to see that child bigger. That is not a thing. Growth hormone supplementation, at least, in the community where I practice and everyone who practices evidence-based pediatrics, really that is only a very narrow segment of children with a very specific diagnosis that qualify for treatment in conjunction with a pediatric endocrinologist.
Our guest is Dr. Michael Milobsky. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's from Denver, Colorado, and we are talking about the height of people and kids. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. If somebody's interested in finding out more about true height, we're going to have we'll have it on our website, latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. Lots of stuff going on over there. Dr. Mike, what is the True Height website?
So I think it's True Height. I'm not sure if it's trueheight.com or True Height Vitamins, or trueheightvitamins.com, but they're really easy to find online.
Just search it True Height, right?
But it's True Height, TRUHEIGHT, True Height.
We all have to have different spellings. Look at Alan, ALYN. Our guest, Dr. Mike, we're talking about True Height. It's a vitamin. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Join us at latenighthealth.com. We'll have a pretty picture of Dr. Mike up there and a link to the True Height website. Don't go away. More coming up as we talk about stature here on Late Night Health. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com, and join the conversation to be part of the solution. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Daryl, you're about what, 6'2"?
6'2" if I stand up straight.
Got it. All right.
No one in my family or around me when I was growing up was as tall as I was, so I was always leaning over to participate.
Yeah, I get that. I was always kind of stretching. Now, of course, posture is really important. And our guest is a pediatrician and a spokesperson for True Height. What does True Height do? I mean, will it? So, should I take it at my age?
No. So, I like to describe to people, True Height has a role, I believe, in very specific circumstances where young children have a set of issues, and those issues can be sensory or developmental or neurocognitive, that can really prevent them from having optimal healthy nutrition because of other factors that get in the way. For instance, kids who are born severely premature. those kids have lots of trouble with their oral motor skills and sensory issues. They really have a hard time attaining optimal diets to support their growth long term because of those things. Children born with neurodevelopmental disabilities. I take care of a lot of kids with autism. Those kids are very sensory and very rigid in routines, have a hard time with nutrition. I take care of kids with complex medical conditions that, for whatever reason, they really, unlike normal, healthy toddlers, preschoolers, and school-age children, simply cannot eat in a normal way. And this is where True Height, in my opinion, has a role. For healthy kids who eat a normal, well-balanced, healthy diet, and toddler eating patterns are a very unique thing, and we could talk about those if you want, but those kids don't need anything. They don't need vitamin supplementation most of the time. They don't need toddler formulas. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics was very pointed in saying healthy children should not be on, quote, toddler formulas. But in my practice, where I use True Height, or for kids who really struggle because of issues that they can't necessarily control and need support for optimal nutrition so they can achieve healthy, optimal growth. And that's where I use True Height.
When Carol and I were first together, we had some friends, and we were at their house, and their little daughter, who at the time was like 3.5 or 4, brought us a plate of, I'm sorry, Doc, smoked oysters. Okay. All right. And she ate them at 4.
Great.
Okay.
Amazing.
And which is amazing. But she was an anomaly, because I think a lot of kids that age, toddlers, are picky. I don't want to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. It's blue, it's red, it's purple, whatever it might be. Is that common?
It's not just common, it's completely physiologically and developmentally normal. And this is where having a good conversation with your pediatrician to understand the difference between normal toddler and preschooler pickiness, which is almost universal, and those children are still generally healthy. But between that and a child who actually their eating routines and habits are actually harming them nutritionally, that usually requires a pretty nuanced discussion with your pediatric primary care doctor, who can help you understand, hey, when you need help and when you don't. Just in general, most toddlers, and I have 7 children, for your listeners who don't know, and I've raised 7 toddlers. Toddlers are in a very less active part of their growth curve. It's a little bit flatter than when they're a 0 to 1 year old, and they're not so appetite driven, and it's not so, their appetite and meal times don't often line up during the day. So I always tell people, your healthy toddler and preschooler may sit and eat the meal with you once or twice a week. And
if
the
you're
rest
lucky.
of the week, and the rest of the week, you're just going to see them graze on goldfish and craisins or whatever else and not seemingly eat very much. And those children are perfectly healthy.
That's really interesting, because I've seen parents say you have to eat the chicken.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Eat the
Because
chicken.
eating causes an enormous amount of anxiety in parents. And then when we react with that anxiety towards our toddlers, we can actually create negative eating behaviors that really do harm them. And so I always try to counsel our parents to be aware of where your anxiety is sitting around this topic and understand, hey, if my kid is really eating in a healthy, normal way for them, to minimize how much I push them because of my own anxiety.
When a kid is anybody under 40 to me, but
Right.
right, sounds good to you too.
Sounds good to me too.
Yeah. So if somebody doesn't want to eat something, I mean, I know people. I don't like calf's liver or beef liver. Okay, it just
Neither do I.
you don't. Do you remember your mom making it with onions
All the time.
All the time.
I never ate it.
Right? Never. Oh, but I had to sit there and eat it, and I got more for you. I got more for you. President Eisenhower would come on and say, "Okay, boys and girls, drink your glass of milk," and so I had to drink milk with.
Sure.
Okay, I don't mix meat and milk. I don't. Not for religious reasons. It just doesn't taste good to me.
Right.
I don't even order a cheeseburger. I don't. But should you give a kid, let them eat whatever, you said craisins and the goldfish.
I try to counsel the parents that any kind of coercion or sitting there until plates are cleared, that's not a positive way to develop a healthy relationship with food in young children. And so, however, I think that because of all the reasons I stated before, there are lots and lots of children that would benefit from some sort of nutritional supplementation because they are struggling with these issues we talked about, neurodevelopmental issues, prematurity, sensory issues, things that really can significantly negatively impact their eating routines and habits. And this is where I started using True Height because I felt it was a better product than was available on the market. Cleaner ingredients, excellent protein, micronutrient balance, better than the things I was recommending before. And while those kids are getting help, most of those kids get help with their eating. This is what feeding therapy does for a lot of these kids.
Right.
Occupational therapy. Parents can offer them something other than just milk, because just giving kids endless amounts of cow's milk, as you pointed out, that's not healthy for young children either.
No, and there's certain ethnic groups, Ashkenazi Jews, for example, have a very high non-tolerance or low tolerance of milk. I have a whole pocket full of lactose pills right now. Yeah. So the parents have to let go. It's the parents' problem, not the kids.
Right. So parents, once again, we're gonna differentiate between kids who are perfectly healthy with the normal picky eating routines that go along with being a healthy toddler and preschooler. If parents do have to be aware of their own anxieties and learn to relinquish more control of that to their child, knowing that their child is perfectly healthy and is growing perfectly appropriately, and in order to sometimes get that help, that's where a really open and candid conversation with your primary care pediatrician can help. And also knowing if your child is really struggling with issues and would benefit from something like True Height, that's where also a conversation with your pediatrician can really help, not just start something to give them healthy nutritional supplementation, but get them into a therapeutic situation that can help them restore and get back to healthy eating routines long term.
Well, we only have a couple of minutes left, or a minute left, less. Can you name all 7 of your children and 3 grandchildren real quick?
I do. Isaac, Jonah, Caleb, Maya, Elisheva, Bela, Hadassah are my children, and my grandchildren are Noah, Alicia, and Avishai.
That's really good, because I have trouble with the 2 I have.
Now, if you ask me everyone's birthday, I'm going to have trouble with the years, but I got the names down.
You did. Doctor, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. True Height, and it's not going to make somebody 2 inches taller. It's going to make them healthier.
It's not going to make you taller than your genetics, but it can support the healthy growth that you're supposed to have.
Got it. Listen, search out True Height, and you'll find out more information. Doctor, hold on just a second. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Join us at LateNightHealth.com. More coming up. Don't go away. We'll be back.